Supplemental affidavit. I, Ramil L. Madriaga of legal age, Filipino and with address at care of Annex 2 BGMP Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, after having been duly sworn in accordance with law, do hereby state: 1. I am currently a detainee at Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, for charges of kidnapping, criminal case number RMNL-22-05157-CR, and R-MNL-22-05158, pending before the Regional Trial Court, Branch 21, RTC Manila. 2. On November 29, 2025, I executed an affidavit which was subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Cynthia Biñas Pentonal on the same day. In my affidavit, I narrated my involvement with then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, PRRD, his daughter Sara Duterte, Sara, other members of their family, and their close associates. More specifically, I provided a personal account of the various works I did for the aforementioned individuals, including campaign and organizing activities, intelligence gathering and sabotage, and transportation of large sums of money under the direct instructions of either PRD or Sara. 3. With my consent, my affidavit was submitted and referred to the Office of the Ombudsman through a letter dated December 15, 2025. 4. After I executed my affidavit, I learned that Sara denied any affiliation with me and that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. She added that she has never given me any instruction of any kind. 5. I received through my counsel a copy of complaint dated March 4, 2026, filed by Sara or BP Sara herself before the Office of the City Prosecutor, Taguig City, for perjury. In her complaint, BP Sara reiterated that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. In fact, prior to the dissemination of the Madriaga affidavit, BP Sara had no recollection of knowing, meeting, or interacting with me. 6. However, her denial of any affiliation with me is absolutely false. She lied under oath in her perjury complaint against me. Hence, I decided to execute a supplemental affidavit providing further details on the narration I made in my previous affidavit with additional accounts of other orders, tasks, or works given to me by either PRD or Sara, or BP Sara. Engagement activities with President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. 7. Prior to the 2016 national elections campaign, I was working for then Congressman Roylo Goles as one of his political officers specializing in intelligence gathering and sabotage operations. Congressman Goles decided to support the candidacy of PRRD. Hence, he introduced me and endorsed my services to PRRD during their meeting at the latter's residence in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, around the 2015 or early 2016. He mentioned to PRRD that I was previously under detention and that I later survived death row. Congressman Goles also added that I am his #1 asset in the National Security Council during his time as National Security Advisor. 9. When PRRD was elected president, Cong Goles' brother, Ferdinand Goles, was appointed as a member of the Board of Directors or the Base Conversion and Development Authority, BCDA. On the other hand, PRRD directed me to serve as a counterintelligence agent for the National Security Council. 10. However, I was never under the employ of the Office of the President or any government agency. Instead, I was directly employed by PRRD. I received my salary from a certain Canlas, a PNP officer, previously from Davao, at the start of every month in the amount of 100,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos in cash. 11. As part of my duties, PRRD specifically instructed me to monitor, operate, and sabotage former Senator Trillanes. However, PRRD was apprehensive in ordering the assassination of Senator Trillanes because of the latter's support and contact in the armed forces of the Philippines. 12. Sometime in 2018, PRRD asked BP Sara, to go to his home in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, to discuss upcoming local elections in Davao City, where BP Sara was going to run for re-election as mayor. During this meeting, PRRD introduced me to Sara and told me, "Ram, ikaw na bahala kay Inday. Since then, I've frequently met and discussed with BP Sara, then Mayor Sara, regarding various matters. However, she gave me strict instructions that all conversations should be done as much as possible by call and minimize text messages. 13. Furthermore, PRD also asked me to profile individuals associated with BP Sara, then again Mayor Sara, because she is his favorite among his children. PRD wanted BP Sara in politics instead of Paulo Duterte Pulong and Sebastian Duterte Baste, who he characterized as baliw and bading, respectively. Number 14, sometimes in 2021, PRD gave me 25 million to purchase high-end motorcycles for Sarah's use while she is Tomas Morato, Quezon City, a comedy bar we call the Night Strip, frequented by SSC Law alumni including Attorney Ryan and Attorney Monsayak. 66. I'm quite familiar with Nomu Basho because I previously visited it several times in relation to my work with Sara and ISIP Pilipinas. In fact, this is the same place where ISIP gave Attorney Monsayak a certification of recognition and appreciation. We arrived at Nomu Basho around 12 midnight. I went inside the establishment with Arman, who was carrying the second bag. I immediately saw Attorney Monsayak, who was at the same time, at the time, in the middle of the place together with a woman and several men. When he saw me, he stood up and signaled for us to go upstairs. We then proceeded to the stairs leading to the second floor. Arman walked ahead of me while I followed him. Before I got to the second floor, I saw a man who came out of the room and received the bag from Arman. After that, we proceeded to exit the premises, and as I was passing near the table of Attorney Monsayak, I looked at him and he nodded. And we completed the delivery to Nomu Basho. We stopped to eat around the area while eating. I told Arman and Richard to meet me at my house in Cainta, Rizal, later that day at 8 a.m. Number 70. At around 8 a.m. the same day, the team met in my residence at Cainta, Rizal before we traveled to the last location, OMB parking area. This time, however, we only used my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser and the red Mazda sedan, where the remaining two bags were previously placed. We left my residence at around 8:30 a.m. Richard was driving my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser, while Arman and another person, Noel, and he brought along were aboard the red Mazda sedan. '71. When we arrived, the guard gave a signal directing us to park in a specific area in the Ombudsman parking lot. We proceeded to the specific area and parked red Mazda sedan where the remaining two bags of money were placed. We left the keys on top of the left front of the wheel, which is our usual practice when delivering large amounts of money. 72. Previously and upon direct instructions of PRD, Sara, I've also delivered money to Ombudsman Samuel Martires or Attorney Ryan, which I usually place inside an open trunk of a designated car. Number 73. After completing the last delivery, we left the Ombudsman compound aboard my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser. A few years later, I read from several media reports that 125 million OBP confidential funds in 2022 were reportedly utilized in just 11 days. This is wrong because I personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours. Sara attempt to visit me at Annex 2 BJMP Camp Bagong Diwa.
You can
Numbers-
drink some water, Mr.
Yes.
Madriaga.
Yes, if I-
Drink some water.
Thank you po, sir. Issue. May I proceed, Madam Chair po?
Feel free to start whenever you want.
Number 74. A few years later, I read from several media reports that the 125 million pesos OBP confidential funds in 2022 were reportedly utilized in just 11 days. This is wrong because I personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours. Sarah's attempt to visit me at Annex 2, BGMP Camp Bagundiwa. Number 75. Sometime in October 2025, after I got arrested for alleged kidnapping, I was called by Jail Warden Jose Marie Sabiniano in his office. As I made my way to the office of Jail Warden Sabiniano, I was surprised to see Sarah through the metal railings of the passageway. She smiled and waved at me. Number 76. When I entered the office of the Jail Warden Sabiniano, he asked me if I know Attorney Joyce. I replied, Joyce dapat, and Jail Warden Sabiniano handed me a phone. When I said hello, I recognized the voice of Sarah, and she asked me about my well-being and conditions inside the detention facility. She was also apologetic for failing to do something or assist in my ongoing criminal case. 77. Frankly, I felt bad and disappointed given that Attorney Harry Roque filed the case against me in retaliation after I tried to expose his land-grabbing activities in Maribeles, Bataan, together with his Philippine offshore gaming operator partners. As I previously mentioned, I was merely trying to assist the farmers of the said area who were supposed to be awarded of their certificate of land ownership awarded by the Department of Agrarian Reform, but fell victim to Attorney Harry Roque's activities. Attorney Roque and his POGO partners wanted to convert the said place into a POGO hub after he facilitated the transfer of at least 60 land titles to First Bataan Maribeles holding corporations. In fact, Danny Corral, President and Chief Executive Officers of First Bataan Maribeles Holding Corporations, is also an incorporator of Lucky South 1999 Outsourcing Incorporated and Lucky South 1999 Corporation, which were involved in POGO operations in Pampanga. Number 80, more importantly, I felt betrayed that despite all my efforts to support Sarah, to the extent of even committing high-risk acts for her and her family, she did not lift a finger to stop Harry Roque, who is her known ally and supporter, from filing the unfounded kidnapping case against me. In witness hereof, I have here and to set my hand this April 2026, April 11, 2026 in Taguig City. Appointed, signed, Ramil Madriaga. That will be all your, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Madriaga.